Okay, in this video I want to show you as quickly as I can how you can use RhythMachine to generate a song, to basically create the parts for a song. So first of all, we're going to create a drum groove and record that, and then we're going to create a bass line, and then we're going to put some melody over the top. Now the way I'm doing this is I'm recording into Logic. So I have Logic loaded up, and you need to load Logic first, and you need to have Rewire installed. Just do a Google search for Rewire to find out more about that. And then you open RhythMachine. Then in RhythMachine, you double click underneath the start button, this little line here. It's kind of hidden because it's a feature that's kind of in development. And in the drop down, you choose Rewire. And this little box here is a kind of latency control. Now on my machine, it needs to be about 57 to 60 to kind of put it in time. But that's something to play around with. So basically, in the pattern thing, you need to click Note Out and choose From RhythMachine, and that will send the output of RhythMachine into Logic, and then you can use instruments in Logic and record them. And when you're in Rewire mode, when you click Start, nothing happens. It basically waits for a bar of click to come from Logic, and then it starts on the next bar. So you need to set it to basically give you a bar of counting. So let's start off with a drum groove. So I'm going to select Superior Drummer in Logic as my sound source. And I'm going to say, let's do a basic drum groove. So in sequencer, I'm going to program in 1, 2, 3, 4 on the hi-hat, and I'm going to put a backbeat. And in fact, let's have a kind of broken 16th note on the hi-hat. And we're just going to have a kick drum pattern, and I'm going to generate it with 16ths and triplets and see what that sounds like. So I click Start, and then I have 4 bars selected in here. I'm just going to press record. So that's an interesting groove to start with. So you'll see I can play this back now in Logic. And that's going to loop. So now I want to add a bass line. So I'm going to go into pitch mode. And in pitch mode, basically each beat of random pattern plays a different chord. So we've got root notes that you can select here and the chord type that you can select underneath. So I'm going to say let's have 8 beats of root note. That's what we're going to go for. And I'm going to drag this out in Logic so that that drum groove that we had just repeats for a while. And I'm going to go for an 8-bar thing. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have an 8-bar pattern to fill. Now I don't necessarily have to record, I could just play, but I think this will let me record takes. So what I'm going to do is have RhythMachine pick some random root notes. So to do that, you click on Toggle Random Roots, and that puts a question mark next to all these root notes. Now when it generates the pattern the first time round, it will pick a random root note. So I'm going to say play those on the -2 octave, and I'm going to say turn the ones down. We're just going to listen to the roots. So in pitch mode, 0s play the root notes and 1 play notes from within the chord you've picked. So since we're just looking at picking root notes, that's what we're going to do. So hit play and hit record in here. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that basically generated these 8 root notes for chords. Now, if you like those, then you turn toggle random off, and next time it generates a rhythm, it will generate it with those chords rather than picking new chords, or roots, I should say. But at the moment, they're all root note chords. So now what I'm going to do, because I know that bass line is playing those root notes, I'm going to go onto a Rhodes sound, and I'm going to go for the middle octave. And this time I'm going to say toggle random chords. and I'm going to put all the ones up. So basically this is going to play kind of arpeggiated notes from whatever chords it generates, and I can just decide whether or not I like them. So that's the volume of the ones there. Okay, here we go. 1, record, 2, 3, 4. So that's pretty mad. Now, if there are certain chords in there that you don't like, first of all, let's toggle them all off. So now it's going to replay those chords that we just had. Say you didn't like this minor chord here, you could just set that to be random and it will try a new thing. And you can run that round in a loop until you get one that you like the sound of. So let's just do that. I'm going to delete what we just recorded, put this into start and then record. 2, 3, 4. Now, I'm not going to pretend that that sounds nice, but you can play around with this and have it come up with different random things until you find something that you like. So now I'm going to show you how you can kind of have some interesting, what do you call it? I can't remember the word, but basically intertwining melodies between two different instruments. So I'm going to add a new track, software instrument track, and I'll put it on a different electric piano. So this time, rather than playing all of the 16th notes like we just did, I'm going to play variations of 16th notes and triplets and even some quintuplets, and I'm going to allow it to have some half-time options. And I'm not interested in the zeros. So this time I'm only going to have random rhythms that are the ones playing. Start that and then hit record. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now we have an electric piano part. And then on this one, I'm going to say use different octaves, or use some of the higher octaves at least, and some of the lower ones. Now again, if you've watched the other videos, you'll know that these sliders, they're not volume sliders, they're probability sliders. So this arrangement says most of the notes will come from the middle octave, some will come from -1 and +1, fewer will come from -2 and +2. Okay, so you can choose kind of the distribution of where the notes come from. And this time I'm going to add some diddles on the ones as well, so sometimes those notes will be doubled up. And I'm going to say give me some more of the quintuplets because I like that kind of weird stuff. So we're recording this on a different instrument. Put this into start mode and then record. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so it sounds pretty like messed up. It's not really music. But the idea is that you can generate things as simple or as complex as you like and basically inspire you with new ideas. That's not the kind of thing that somebody would come up with, but because it's all within set chords, then it does kind of work in a weird way. So there are a couple of tracks that I recorded just using this methodology, and they only took me sort of half an hour to knock up, just doing different things and picking the ones that I liked. You can check those out on my Facebook page for RhythMachine, which you will find if you go to my website, joecrabtree.com/software, and click on the RhythMachine tab, and there's the little Facebook box in there. And on the Facebook page on the wall, you can see 2 of the tracks that I recorded basically using RhythMachine in this fashion. So I hope you've enjoyed that. Please check it out. And if you think it's useful, tell your friends about it. I'm just trying to get the word out because I think it's an interesting piece of software, and I think a lot of people can get a lot of use out of it. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.